They were a bit richer than us at that time, and but we lived a little bit longer. In US, the life expectancy was mainly, or especially in Europe and in Northern America, life expectancy was 71 years in Sweden. 70s, industrialization was in full bloom in Europe and Northern America, and it was also a clear trend here. You could see all the small dots just to the level 4 in terms of income. Small oil countries such as Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, but also our neighbor, because I'm from Sweden, our neighbor Norway. In the 90s, industrialization continues in even more countries, and the life expectancy as well as the income levels continue to increase. And now, the current situation in the world. This is, I would say, a totally different subject as well, but first of all, we have to say that we made a kind of amazing journey. Nowadays, the life expectancy is between 70 to 80 years all over the world. We all almost erased poverty, or real poverty in the world. So that's something that we should really be proud of. But that's another subject. In this situation, what kind of challenges are we now facing, and what are the global mega trends that we currently see? For example, a sustainable workplace. As you probably know, sustainability means the ability to be maintained at a certain level or rate. Up to 75% of all injuries on today's factory floors are due to poor ergonomics. Ergonomics is of ever-increasing importance, and creating a sustainable working environment is a key issue. Aging population, the very positive fact that we live longer, creates challenges for us. One example, in Sweden, the life expectancy was around 73 years in 1961. And in 1961, we voted for a national governmentally retirement program in Sweden, where everyone could retire at the age of 67. That means we received governmental retirement support for approximately 6-7 years. In 2018, the life expectancy in Sweden is around 83 years, and now we can retire at the age of 65. So what I'm trying to say is that population aging is poised to become one of the most significant social transformations of the 21st century. Another global trend, the relationship between human and robots, is a result of industrialization and implementations of robots on the factory floors. In this room, I'm sure you all have heard different kind of buzzwords, cobots and so on. Another example of this global trend is the increase of grip-intensive work tasks for humans, as a machine is controlled by a human hand, as a robot needs adjustments by a human hand, and the person who are responsible for example, the end quality control, often performs monotonous, grip-intensive tasks. That means that with the industrialization, we have created a much more sustainable, much more safe working environment for workers. However, we also created much more grip-intensive work tasks for the humans that are still on the factory floors. Last but not least, the future factory concept, Industry 4.0, the fourth way of industrialization. Smart factories enables the possibility to monitor both physical processes, machines, equipment enabled by Internet of Things concept and data collection possibilities. Okay, we look back at the history, we applaud ourselves about the the greatness or the really positive effect of that we are alive much longer nowadays. We talked about the challenges of today and the mega trends of today and tomorrow. Of course, I would like to now go into a little bit about what we at BioServo, who are we, what do we do to create the future's industry athletes. We are a company from Sweden, small country, Northern Europe, approximately 10 million citizens. We have a long history in Sweden with innovations. For example, companies such as ABB, Volvo, IKEA, SKF, and Spotify, and Gapminder, for example, all comes from Sweden. We are number 2 in the world when it comes to innovation. So as a Swede, we're kind of proud of that. We at BioServo has been chosen as one of Sweden's 20th most innovative companies, which we at BioServo, a small research company, are super proud of course. Our passion lays in mechatronic, exoskeleton, and robotics. And that's what we do, and we are experts in hardware, software, ergonomics, and digitalization. Shortly about the company, we started in 2006 with the ambition to help people with a weak grip. We worked with the technology, put the patents together and worked with the technology for approximately 7 years. We launched our healthcare product in 2013, where we were backed up by the European Union and the Swedish government through several different technology research programs. We received interest from the industry a couple of years ago, started some development cooperations, and are now launching this summer our industry solution, Iron Hand, that can prevent strain injuries and detect users and use cases at risk. In 3 words, we try to melt it down. What do? We do digital, human empowerment. And what do we mean with that? So in order to try to explain it even further, we have made a short movie trying to explain the concept, how we address the global future mega trends, and how we create industry athletes of tomorrow by human augmentation and digital risk assessment. So let's have a look at that and see what you think. We've been working so hard with the music, but for some reason you couldn't hear any music. Nevertheless, for you, we demonstrate and you can test our equipment outside. So if you haven't done that, feel free to do it afterwards. We will be here for a couple of more hours. What did we actually see in the movie? What's Iron Hand? This is my colleague Martin, one of our developers. This is an active exoskeleton for the hand. It's a glove with pressure sensors in the fingertips. Activates inbuilt artificial tendons, which is inbuilt in the glove, creating an intuitive glove which gives extra strength and force to a certain limit. Our aim is not to create superhumans, our aim is to decrease some of the forces. It's a backpack with a unit, containing a battery, software, and 5 actuators controlling each finger, and a cord connecting the glove and the unit. In addition to giving extra strength and endurance, the last years we have also added the possibility to collect data of the usage from the glove. This creates quite a lot. This has created quite a lot of interest from the industry, as we are also able to integrate a standardized scientific risk assessment method in our software. And as a start, we have integrated 2 methods: KIM, Key Indicator Method, for manual handling operations, developed here in Germany by Federal Institute of Occupational Safety and Health, and HAL, an American method, hand activity level, developed by the American Congress of Governmentally Industrial Hygienists. This means that we can give risk scores for different users and use cases and digitalize the ergonomic risk assessment. We have been developing this iron hand product or concept by partnering with some global companies from different industries. I will now give you some short examples. We have been responsible for development, prototyping, and our partners has given valuable input in terms of specification and verification of our technology. 2 years ago, we received a project to develop the future industry glove for General Motors. When we started in 2006, there were not many research projects on robotic gloves. It was basically us and GM NASA who did research on giving extra force to the grip with a robotic solution. As they never commercialized their technology, we got the opportunity to work together with General Motors to develop the future industry glove for them. Another global company we have been partnering with is FACH, a French civil construction company, operates in over 50 countries with a yearly turnover over $15 billion. That's big for BioServo. We are 28 employees. FACH are involved in large infrastructural projects such as building roads, design and implementation of complex construction projects. Over a 6-month period, we tested our technology in different fields of the FACH operations, for example, silicone, rake and iron operators. Really positive result in performance. FACH also confirmed iron hand is possible to implement in many different use cases with a positive result. One of our other partners are Airbus, which you all know is an international pioneer within the aerospace industry, either in designing, manufacturing and delivering aerospace products to customers all over the world, roughly present in 180 locations globally. Last couple of years we have developed iron hand prototypes according to Airbus needs, which has been tested in their working environment. In 2018, we also started new prototyping projects, moving our technology from the hand to the shoulder, developing the first prototype of our iron arm solution, an active exoskeleton with the ambition to help lifting your arms and do gravity compensation while working with arms above shoulder level. And we're working with Airbus and FACH on this project. I have now presented BioServo, what we do, our solution, our technology, what we are passionate about. Is that enough? We are all here like technology nerds and exoskeleton, really interested in the technology. We're sold to this, so to say. What else do we need? During our work with our global partners, we have learned the importance of evaluating new technology in a cost and time-effective way. New technology is, of course, interesting. Don't need to tell you that. What we have experienced is that the most important thing afterwards is to evaluate and use the right kind of evaluation criteria to find a a specific return on investment model and select both subjective and objective measurement methods. Basically to have a structured way of evaluating the technology. We call our concept the AIM concept, assess, implement and measure. In the assessment phase, we identify users, the right kind of users and use cases, and employees at risk of strain injuries. It's like a 2-3 weeks project or a 2-3 month project where we visit our customers on site, test our technology in real use cases, and generate data and reports based both on subjective and objective measurements. For example, we have then integrated the KIM model, Key Indicator Method, the scientific risk assessment method from Germany. And based on this report, we can also present the return on investment calculation and suggest potential actions on way forward, how to minimize the risks. Here's one example from EFAGE in France, working with an iron operator. In this case, we could lower the risk with 80%, the risk of work-related upper limb disorder, according to the KIM model. We have a lot of data in our different reports. This is one. You can see the different fingers and the different risks on each finger, working with or without the glove. Another example is Jean-Louis. He's working as a rake operator in southern France. In this case, we could lower the risk of work-related upper limb disorder with up to 66%. He's holding that scrape for 8 hours a day, raking asphalt. And also we have in this assessment method included a return on investment method or model based on both subjective and objective data, the objective data that we collect with Iron Hand. We also have a light version of this return on investment model on our website. After the assessment project, one potential action could be to implement Iron Hand in some use cases. Another action could be to job rotate more often, to change tools or other kind of actions. But this is one of the options could be to implement Iron Hand. At this point, we implement our technology on site at the customer's factory. We train staff, implement the data collection nodes, and set up the reporting structure. When starting to use the system, we move into the measure phase. We start generating reports where it's possible to predict and prevent future strain injuries and receive alarms when working conditions are changed. So this is basically some short information about our way of evaluating our own technology. This is a method that we've seen that many of the customers that we have been working with are using. So let's summarize. 75% of all injuries on today's manufacturing floors are due to poor ergonomics. Population aging is poised to become one of the world's most significant social transformations of the 21st century. And we at BioServo believes that human augmentation, and by creating the working athletes of tomorrow, we can create a more sustainable workplace and increase the health and safety for the factory floors. I think that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for listening. I will be here afterwards as well, so if you have any questions now, let's have them, or please pass by and test Iron Hand if you haven't already done that.
Thank you. questions now or questions later? Who has a question now?
Hello, thank you for the presentation. One question to the risk assessment. Did you wrote it yourself, or how did you came? Or from where do you have the risk assessment tool?
The risk assessment methods are two scientifically risk assessment methods. One made here in Germany from it's a proven method. It's called KIM, Key Indicator Method. So if you Google that, you will see it's kind of a well-known method of how to evaluate risks for grip-intensive work situations. The other one is HAL, Hand Activity Level. It's an American scientific model as well. So yeah, we have not invented that.
And they include also this soft exoskeleton.
No, we have those methods are based on different kind of parameters, and those parameters we collect with our glove and shoot into the calculation, so to say.
And did you validate this?
It's validated by us still, but it's a valid question, and it needs to be validated in the future by a third party as well, of course.
Okay.
But I truly believe that for exoskeleton manufacturers, this is an extremely important way to go, to be able to show actually in real numbers the difference with and without using an exoskeleton.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Has somebody another question? So, if not, then thank you once again. Thank you.